Porsche Panamera 4e Hybrid. That's the name of the new hybrid variant in this all-new generation of the Porsche Panamera. And we'll take a look at it here on exterior and interior and have some exclusive interviews for you here on Autogefühl, because we are meeting up with the Porsche CEO and also with the head of the development of this model line here. So we will have all of the insight also on the technical part and also maybe what the future will hold for electrification with Porsche. Let's start here in Autogefühl, your #1 resource for in-depth car reviews and your #1 community to discuss cars with some exclusive reports from the Paris Motor Show. Let's go. The front is really pretty much the same than we've seen with the other Panamera variants. We have different videos on the all-new Porsche Panamera. Check them out in the video description. Here with the top LED headlights, you see this 4-dot design. There you can always see them very well. And this new kind of power dome. And I think here, especially in white, I think the power dome is really good, because in some other colors this shadow difference is a little bit stronger. Here I think in white it's not that significant, so also black contrast then here to the white color, really refreshing. And moving on from white to acid green, because acid green is also a thing with the e-hybrid, and it's covered here behind this badge at the side, and also the brake calipers here in this acid green color add to this very harsh contrast for the 21-inch rims, and they have my favorite Porsche Spider design, because this is such a 90s thing, this Spider design, and well, you know, I'm a 90s guy a little bit, so this is really my thing as for the rim design. Or what's yours? Looking forward to that. Then this side silhouette, which has been altered with the all-new generation of the Panamera, that the roof falls down a little bit more elegant, still strong shoulders, but the whole rear doesn't look that bulky anymore, but really like a longer 911. And the rear here again with this acid green contrast, and the number 4 also tells you something that we have also an all-wheel drive mounted in here. I would say let's also take a look at the front, but first conclusion to the rear. More horizontal contrast definitely here, all the taillights with a 3D effect. So also from the rear, I didn't like the Panamera generation before that much, but now I do. And for most viewers, the favorite part of a Porsche, see it here 2.9, the V6, again with the acid green. I sometimes mistake it a little bit for yellow, but that's because, well, I'm weak with colors a little bit about green and yellow, maybe you too. And what about this engine here? I would say let's talk to the guy who is responsible for the development of the whole car. And now we are joined by Gernot Döllner. He is responsible for the Panamera model lineup, and of course we want to know first of all about the technical specifications. Everyone was waiting for the hybrid model. So what's exactly beneath the hood? Is it a 4S plus the electric drive?
It's a Panamera 4e hybrid. It's a 2.9 liter V6 combustion engine with 330 horsepower in combination with an electric motor with 100 kilowatts. That means 136 horsepower. So this in combination delivers 700 Newton meter of torque, and with this hybrid concept it's proven that a plug-in hybrid is a performance feature, and it's a typical Porsche.
So you also want to address a typical Panamera customer just with a plug-in hybrid now?
Yeah, definitely. Because we think, and with this car, we took the 918 Spider idea of hybridization to the luxury segment, and it's really a performance feature. 4.6 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 278 kilometers per hour top speed prove that it's a real sports car.
I guess you already drove the car. How can you describe the driving feeling? How is it maybe different from a 4S to, or maybe to a turbo?
Yeah, maybe more to a 4S because it's almost as fast. It's even more emotional because from the tipping of the gas pedal when you step in, you initially have 700 Newton meters of torque, and that adds an extra emotion and an extra torque to the car, and really makes it a performance car.
What can you imagine? How much maybe share in the whole model lineup could a plug-in hybrid have at the end of the day? But because there are also now some subventions, well, not for the very expensive car, at least in Germany. But how can you also convince people that this is maybe the sportier Porsche?
Yeah, we had 10% plug-in hybrid in the previous model as a share. And we are convinced that we'll have even more than these 10% with this plug-in hybrid.
Maybe you can tell us something about the favorite features you have with this car, because you obviously know every detail. So what's your really favorite part of it?
Yeah, the favorite part of it are the different drive modes. From all electric, we have a hybrid mode, and we have a Sport and a Sport Plus mode. We have a Sport Chrono package on board, and an exhaust system that's really very, very emotional. And so my favorite part of it is the complete hybrid package. Is really a perfect combination in this car.
If I was rather use it for cruising, not so much for racing, what can I do with the maximum electric range? Or maybe if I have the combined fuel consumption, so what can I do it on with the economic side?
On the economic side, you have 51 kilometers all-electric range, which is quite impressive, and you can, in the city, you can drive completely electric up to a speed of 140 kilometers. So it's also perfect for cruising all electric or in a hybrid mode. That's also perfect for long trips.
And as a last question, looking to the future, I heard there will also be a second plug-in hybrid version. Of course, you cannot tell us every detail about it, but maybe you can tell us something. Will it be very much the same, or will it be completely different than this one?
Yeah, it's not the right time to talk about details, but I can tell you we'll have another even more performance-oriented hybrid version of this car.
Okay, maybe this will bring us even more 918 Spider here in the Porsche Panamera. Thank you very much for this insight.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now to the interior, and well, the hybrid Porsche definitely leads the way into the future. Also again with the acid green on the carbon fiber entry cap. The only thing that is missing that we have, for example, some Alcantara surfaces, so I'm really looking forward to the Panamera GTS in this case. But the question is if I can also combine it with the Panamera plug-in hybrid, because this would be my thing totally, the Panamera plug-in hybrid with Alcantara seats. Let's maybe later find out at a later stage in the configurator if that's possible. That would be really interesting, or what do you think? Because, for example, we also got an Alcantara ceiling, which creates a very cozy and soft atmosphere. Also together with a design highlight, for example, the mirror, which has no frame. Then a lot of side support. You see it already right here in the lower and the higher parts of the seat. And the big theme about this new interior of the Panamera is that we just got horizontal drawn lights. Again, everything strongly wrapped, that you have strong lines here, but just a few. And this new infotainment screen. We have a feature on the infotainment screen on the other video we have on the Panamera. A lot of functions are hidden inside here, so you don't have many more buttons left here in the middle console. Special here for the plug-in hybrid is that you also got special displays here for the electric range. That will be, see at the moment, 34 kilometers left. Will be a little bit more, as we've just heard. And well, the total consumption, of course, that really depends on how often do you recharge the car, how often do you have the possibility. And there will be the different driving modes, as we've also heard. For example, where you have the e-power mode or Sport Plus that will combine everything, so you have the maximum power output, no matter what economic factors play a role. And here, for example, think about maybe you want to drive fully electric in a city, then you can also e-charge the vehicle then, for example, running on the motorway, recharge the battery, then running just electric inside the city. Hold would be that you would just maintain the battery status at this point, and hybrid auto, just that the car is deciding on its own. So as I take it, e-power would be the mode that uses the most electric energy, Sport more combined then, and Sport Plus really the power. By the way, there's we're talking about Audi clicking sounds when we turn knobs. Here's also interesting clicking sounds when we hit the touchscreen buttons. Just gives you a good feedback here, and just a general overview about the GPS, which is very impressive here from Paris. Bienvenue à Paris, tout le monde, à l'Autogefühl. Yeah, we've also passed the Arc de Triomphe today. So, and this is really great to look at. By the way, the touchscreen itself also feels very well. That is nice. The only thing I'm a little bit have mixed feelings about is that you control where the vents are coming from here. Not sure if you can get used to it, but at least the temperature and stuff you can still do with fixed buttons. I can show you very soon. And there it is. Those are nice clicking fixed buttons here with this metal knurled structure. Really great quality again, and central driving shift where I just put it to D, and then well, I will really fancy driving that one here now, and we will do probably very soon. A Sport Chrono package with Porsche includes also this analog timer, and here we also have this acid green schematic. Very nice detail. Also, the cockpit has been digitalized. 1, 2, 3, 4 digital parts. And then the middle one, this one is still the analog one, the RPM meter, again, with the green arrow. Maybe, like an aggressive snake, ready to attack. One minor detail, magic beverage holders. You see, this is a flat surface now, but then magic. And then I can put some bigger bottles in here and here again, and just push the button, and then everything is flat again. What about the rear, as I would be driving in the front? Of course, the Panamera is not, the best car as for sport in the rear, but by the way, soft close here from the doors. The last part was done automatically. It's a long car. That kind of space here, or knee room in front of me, and headroom wise, well, there's a panoramic roof mounted here, but still this has been increased a little bit here if you compare to the previous generation. 6'1" or 1.86 in height. Overall a comfortable position here, definitely, although I don't fancy those more laying back seating positions in general. I more prefer SUV seating position also for the rear seats, but overall a very cozy atmosphere here, and you also got the full digitalization here in the rear. Again with 2 single seats, and they're now very important information because, there's also this kind of shooting brake in planning process, and this sport touring machine from the Porsche Panamera. That one will probably also feature a rear bench then with 3 seats. So the Panamera Estate, also looking forward to that. Then we have a different setup here. At the moment here still 2 single seats with an armrest. That's something for tech nerds, because isn't it a little bit over the top that I don't do it manually here, those vents? I do it here electronically. Yeah, about that. And then I can also control the air vents from here. play around a little bit with it, and again click here for the climate. So also cooled seats for the rear part, again with good click quality. Click quality is a very interesting word here for Autogefühl, definitely. So if you don't know what to do with your time when you're in the rear, you can always play with the rear screen. By the way, Sport Turismo will be the name of the Panamera estate. Sport Turismo, to remember that. And that will offer even more space than here. But for a sporty sedan, this is also reasonable space. Not in the height, but in every other dimension. 12-volt power supply right here. And what's here? Well, nothing that special. And I guess that the reason for that is, you can see orange cable already means electric parts, because the battery will be stored right there. And here you can also flip the seats, those single seats, and that will look like this. So you can also basically load through longer things. And then we want to take a look into the future, and we close our today's preview of the Porsche Panamera plug-in hybrid with an exclusive interview with the Porsche CEO, Oliver Blume. And now Porsche CEO Oliver Blume joins us, and we want to know, in general, Porsche and electrification. Is it the new thing? Will this be also the future of Porsche?
Porsche has got a very big history of hybrids, and I think Porsche is the founder of the hybrid engines, represented in 1900 in Paris. And now we have 3 hybrid engines in 3 segments. And now with the new Panamera, we are going to a new world and to a new level with this hybrid engines. And I think it's the right thing for Porsche, because we are combining the best of 2 worlds.
Is this only a thing for the bigger vehicles you have? There's, some internal joke at Porsche, because all of the four-door cars are also called commercial vehicles. Yeah, he knows it. Is it just a thing for the Porsche commercial vehicles, or can you also imagine some hybridization in the smaller sports cars?
Of course, you can imagine it. At this moment, we are starting with this hybrid, and what we will do in future, we are thinking about it. And also we are thinking about total electric vehicles in a smaller segment.
About this car, what is the favorite thing for you about the Panamera hybrid?
Oh, it's a combination of the best of combustion engines. You have all the driving dynamics, and on the other hand, you can drive 50 kilometers pure electric, and on the other hand, you can reach up to 280 kilometers per hour. And this combination, I think it's fantastic.
And maybe you talking as a salesman, there has been a problem to sell electric cars in general, and also to make money from it, because the batteries are still very expensive in general. Is it still a future prospect that you can also earn very good money with electric vehicles?
Yeah, I think that's not a problem of the hybrid engines, but for the pure electric engines, it's very important at the end that you can drive a long distance with the cars. You have a small charging time, and you have a very good infrastructure for charging. These 3 components are very important, and therefore we are working in the 3 components. When we will start with a real electric car with Porsche, I think we have all of this.
Yeah, because Autogefühl viewers have also asked us, when is Porsche responding to Tesla? That's of course a question. I mean, you won't reveal all the product portfolio and you have planned for the next 10 years, but what's your response on Tesla at the moment? What are you thinking about?
We don't think about Tesla. What they are doing is interesting for us, but we are playing in our own segment. And our idea was to come with a pure electric car when all these factors of charging time, of distance you can drive, and the infrastructure will be ready for the customer, and that will be at the end of the decade.
And as a last question, let's imagine I'm a typical petrol head, and I say the only thing I love is a V8. How can you bring me to this vehicle?
You have to drive it.
That's always the good thing you can say when you're a Porsche CEO, definitely. Thank you very much for this insight.
Thank you very much.